fact. The Washington Post was founded in 1877 and has long been considered one of the country's premier newspapers. In 2013, the paper was sold to Jeff Bezos, who has implemented changes over time to shift some of the Post's ideology. And today, we learn details of what is being called a strategic reset that resulted in a third of the Post staff being laid off. And part of the cuts include closing its sports department. Joining us now is Jerry Zremski. He is director of the local news network at the Philip Merrill College of Journalism at the University of Maryland. Jerry, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. And, you know, this is something we've been hearing about, the possibility of these cuts for a while. Please give us your reaction to this news today.
Well, as someone who's lived in Washington, D.C. since 1989, speaking first as a resident, I think it's an utter tragedy. I've started every day since then practically spending an hour with the Post, and I could always count on it, not just to provide great national coverage and international coverage, but great sports coverage, great local coverage. It was truly a great, well-rounded newspaper for a long time, through a lot of ups and downs. Now it's not going to be that anymore. In particular, it's not going to be a genuine, full local newspaper anymore. There will be no sports section. There will be 12 journalists covering the entire Washington metro area. It's an impossible task to cover an entire area in a newspaper with that few staffers. It's turning into kind of a Politico-like publication. Many people are saying that today. That's not an original thought, but that seems to be the business strategy. And it seems to be a strategy that will only push away more customers rather than get new ones. So it's not only a tragic event, it's also just extraordinarily perplexing.
Yeah, we talk about, you're mentioning the changes in strategy there. The digital age has created a lot of challenges for media that previously was the main, if not the only way people were able to get updates, TV, radio, newspapers. If an organization like the Post is making cuts, should this worry everyone, and why?
This should worry everyone for one simple reason. The more eyes are on politicians, the more eyes are on local government, the less likely it is that local officials will try to get away with corruption. And there have been studies that really prove this, that when your newspaper closes, taxes end up going up in communities. Why? Because nobody's really watching the purse. And now, you know, we have a mayor's race going on. We have lots of changes in the district. And you know, you folks do a fine job covering the news, but it's not like newspaper coverage, because no television station traditionally has the resources to cover in-depth news to the degree that the Post did. So it's a real disaster for the community, I think, for every resident.
Of course, you know, people are able to do such long-form reporting in newspaper and digital. I think attention spans are changing with the internet, with folks on social media. We can get a lot of good. We can highlight things that we would never see on social media. There's good there. But there's a lot of concern, I think, over disinformation, how to vet information online. What do you think this says about the future of journalism?
It says nothing good about the future of journalism, but at the same time, it's a bit of a specialized case. What's happened at the Post in the last couple of years is that it's been dragged down by new leadership that didn't really do innovative things to build a new business model. If you compare the Post to the New York Times, which is extremely profitable now, over the course of the last many years, the Times has monetized its recipes and its food section. It has bought Wordle, it bought The Athletic. It's done a number of things that ensured its profitability that were beyond the typical, you know, business model of a metropolitan newspaper. There is no reason the Post could not have done the same thing, except for the fact that the people leading it didn't have the vision to do it. So this is all on them. It's all on Will Lewis, the publisher, in particular, the publisher that Jeff Bezos brought in a few years ago. And it's all on Jeff Bezos, because he owns this newspaper. He led it through a very successful period of time, and now he's pretty much turned his back from the very motto that the newspaper had, that democracy dies in darkness.
And Jerry, you work with student journalists, the future. We always like to look ahead and take some actionable steps. These students are growing up knowing pretty much only this digital age. What do you hear from them? But most importantly, what is your advice to those students?
My advice to those students is to get a really good, well-rounded education. Learn how to go on television, learn how to do vertical video, learn data, learn a foreign language. The more skills that a young journalist has, the better their jobs prospects are going to be. And truth be told, we've done really quite well with placing our graduates in journalism jobs. This certainly, however, does not help at all.
Yeah, this is something we'll be talking about, I think, for some time here. The University of Maryland's Jerry Zaremski. Jerry, thank you so much for being with us and sharing your insight here.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Take care.